Court restrains federal government from implementing February 10 deadline of the use of old Naira note. Lagos State Governor announces 50% reduction in transport fare. The Court of Nigeria has restrained the federal government from implementing the February 10 deadline of the old 200, 500 and 100 Naira notes from being legal tender. Three northern states, Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara, had an motion ex parte filed on 3rd February prayed the apex court to halt the Central Bank of Nigeria's Naira Redesign policy. A 7-man panel of the Supreme Court led by Justice John Okoro in a unanimous ruling granted an interim injunction restraining the federal government, the CBN, commercial banks and co from implementing the February 10 deadline for the old 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes to stop being a legal tender. The court further held that the federal government and CBN, as well as commercial banks, must not continue with the deadline pending the determination of a notice on notice in respect of the issue on 15th February. By this ruling, the old Naira notes continue to be legal tenders in Nigeria. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced a 50% reduction in transportation fare using cowrie cards and starts to distribute food items to vulnerable residents from Thursday. The governor on Wednesday directed 50% fare reduction in all state-owned transportation services effective Thursday. Passengers using BRT buses, lag ride taxi scheme, first mile and last mile buses, as well as Lagos ferry services will enjoy the palliative for the next 1 week using their cowrie cards. The governor also gave express permission to all fuel stations operating within Lagos to commence 24-hour operations to allow residents buy fuel without having to stay in queue for hours. The controversy over the CBN currency exchange deadline, the governor said, has had dislocation effect on Lagosians, limiting their access to cash for daily transactions and making their means of sustenance difficult. The governor announced establishment of food banks in various parts of the state for distribution of food items to vulnerable families.